Okay, so we are live. It's beautiful to have you on this session. I have posted about this session. My desire this period or in the month of March is to aid a lot of individuals understand how they can create their own digital products that can make money for them. So all through the month of March, I am going to be focused on how they can create very simple digital products like ebooks, webinars that can help them to be able to start making money, or for those who are already making money to scale it up and make a whole lot more. And part of the conversation is all about how you can also utilize social media to be able to do that, because my own personal journey has been a journey that has been aided by social media. I can always say that if not for social media, I don't know what I would have done to myself, because my personality, I'm the kind of guy that I may not have the strength to start to go physical to people's offices or to enter into homes or go on the streets, even though I'm learning that right now. But when I started out on this journey, I wasn't like that. So social media really helped me a whole lot to be able to push my brand, to push my put myself in the faces of a whole lot of individuals. And I can tell you for a fact that 99% of my clients or the people that I've worked with or individuals who have bought from me are the people that I've met on social media. And I've been building a great community as a result, so I can afford to travel to certain places. And I have individuals who are there to support me and to help push my brand, to help me organize logistics, to help me to, make the thing that I went there to do to become a great success. So the conversations that I want to be having with people this month will be centered around how we can build businesses, communities, and nations via social media. And today, guys, if you're tuning in, please go ahead in the comment section and let me know where you are tuning in from. Let's know your name. Today I have my friend. I think I can say that she's my friend, and she's been someone that has, I don't know, almost every product of mine that I have put out on Seller. I think apart from your book with Seller Academy, I think that you have been able to get every one of them. Because every time I go on Seller, and I mean, when we had that conversation, and I went back and I'm like, this name is familiar, right? And then when and I checked and I saw that, man, I think you should have an award from me as the best buyer of all the products that the Mechanomics has ever put out there in the marketplace, right? So I'm grateful that we have all the way from Kenya, right? We have Betty, Coach Betty. I don't know how to pronounce her surname. I will try Mwaura. Maybe I'm pronouncing it with the Nigerian accent, but she will be able to introduce herself in a few seconds. So I have with me Coach Betty. Betty, all the way from Kenya. I have decided to go beyond the shores of Nigeria to be able to have conversations with individuals in all the African countries to see how they themselves are building their businesses and their communities and the nation using social media. So today I have Coach Betty with me all the way from Kenya, and we are going to be having this conversation in about an hour on how people can build businesses, communities, and nations via social media. So if you're joining us right now, please go ahead and do share this video right now. All right, pause, and there's a button that shows share. Just tap on the button and share this video on your timeline. Wherever we are beaming live on Instagram, sorry, on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So if you're on YouTube, I don't know, you can share. Just tap the share button and share this. If you can also invite your friends and share, and sorry, and tag them in the comment section and tell them to come and have this time out with us, where we're going to be talking about how you can build communities and businesses, nations via social media. So, Coach Betty, welcome and thank you for deciding to do this with me.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, so we are going to get into the heat of the conversation. All right, so anytime I take myself out on the screen, just go ahead, because I would just want the focus to be directly on you as you have a conversation. So I'm going to start out with you just sharing with us your journey so far. Your resume is impressive. You are a knowledge junkie, if I can use the word like that. You're a knowledge junkie. You're always going for knowledge, and you are I think that you are exceptional because you go for knowledge, you consume knowledge, and you execute knowledge. There are individuals who are consistently consuming knowledge, but they are not executing the knowledge, and so they're not getting the results that they ought to get. So, I just want you to go ahead and give us a little bit of rundown about your journey so far, how you started out, your life in Kenya, and how you got out on social media as we begin to segue into this conversation. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I guess it's just about afternoon in Nigeria. In my country, it's 7 minutes past 2 p.m. We are 2 hours ahead. My name is Coach Betty Mwaura. Mwaura is my husband's name. Coach Betty is married to Mwaura, and Mwaura is an engineer. We met in campus. I'll tell you the rest of the story. And I'm also a mother of two boys. My sons are 12 and 10. That's a far I've gone. And I'm a business coach. I'm a business coach, not really because I chose to be one, but because circumstances in business really forced me to go out there and help others not to make the same kind of mistakes that I made at the beginning of my business. So thank you very much, sir. Emeka Nobis, for hosting me today. For me, it's a dream come true. The very first time I bought a product from you, I thought to myself, this person is totally amazing and he's knowledgeable and he is willing to share a lot of good information. Before then, I had met a few Nigerians online and bought their products. I know quite a few of them. If you know the ones I'm gonna mention, just be happy that I know the people in Nigeria, and I love them. I've bought courses. I think I've bought everything that Emeka Nobis have put out there, except the Book Writing Academy. I wasn't very keen, but I think I'll think about that. I have bought from Precious Imonide. I bought things from Irene. I don't know how to say her other name. Irene, sir will help me say that other name. I think she's a lawyer. I bought products from Mam Chioma. I bought products from Niger Brand Chic. I bought from Lucky. There's a very young gentleman. He's amazing. He's called Lucky someone. I saw him saying he'll be in the show. I have bought from probably 20 Nigerian authors. Lucky James, I was trying to remember that name, Lucky James, and many others. I have bought from Kenny, I bought from Sam Harvard. I think I know a lot of Nigerian coaches and content creators and digital creators. And I have loved your product, you guys, and your way of doing things. I was telling Saime Kanobis that Nigeria is quite ahead in terms of digital literacy. Kenya, we do good things. We are amazing. We have good infrastructure. We are a small kind of land down, but in terms of digital literacy, we are probably 3-4 years behind Nigeria. But at a personal level, I have really tried to learn all the digital skills that I could learn. So that's how I met Sir Emeka Nobis. I met him online, been following him, been attending all his trainings. And through him, I've also known a lot of other Nigerian digital creators because he's always very graceful to tag them and to tell us to follow them. So yeah, that's how comes I am almost becoming a Nigerian. And my journey, Sir asked me to share about my journey. After campus, I got a job. Of course, I hustled a little bit. And then I got a job with with the leading telecommunications company in my country. It's called Safaricom. So I got a job with Safaricom, and I was in all the departments that deal with the human face. Like I liked interacting with clients. And one time I was in back office. I was bored to death. I didn't like the back office. I liked talking to clients and sorting out their issues and meeting very angry clients and converting them into our raving fans. That used to be my best moment. So I worked there for 6 years. And since since Safaricom is a leading company, they did all they could for my personal development. So by the time I was leaving, I was quite ahead, quite very, very far. And started my own business. I made a lot of mistakes. And one of the mistakes that I made was to jump into the business world. I left my work. The last job I did was I was a quality analyst. I went through auditing. I audited for the company. I was a quality analyst. I was a customer service representative. I was a sales representative. I was a sales. I did very well in sales. I loved sales. I worked in many departments. I did training and development. I loved training, by the way, and I still do. I'm actually a trained teacher. Like I am trained to train grown-ups. But my best moment in the company was when I worked with customers directly, but also, and then when I worked in the learning and development department, I loved creating content. Those used to be my best moments. But I never knew about the digital space. So I would sit down, create my PowerPoints, meet my colleagues, deliver very good training. And we meet next time. I go sit down, create more content. And after I left the company, I thought to myself, since I did very well for the company, I will also do very well on my own. Mistake number one is thinking that you can actually do it well on your own. And within a short time, I lost all my savings trying to figure out the way on my own. And by the time I went out to look for a coach, I actually didn't know I was going to look for a coach. I just thought to myself, let me go look for help. By that time, I didn't know about coaches. So the people I met apparently were coaches. And they worked with me, and I learned, it's important to work with other people who can help you. And so that's where my journey started. I looked at my life before the coaches and my life after the coaches, and I realized it was like comparing day and night. I mean, impossible to compare the two. So coaches saved me a lot of time wasting, a lot of resources wasting. They saved me the very long journey and condensed my 10 years of learning. Probably it would have taken me 10 years to learn, condensed a decade into probably a year only of learning, and that was amazing. And because I love giving, I am a giving soul. I love giving. I love helping. I love helping people to reach their utmost potential. I thought to myself, how many other people are struggling like I was struggling? How many other people are leaving the corporate world and getting into business with the kind of mindset I had before I knew about coaches and personal development? I knew about personal development and I practiced it. I've always read, I've always been a reader, I've always been a researcher, but I didn't know about coaching. So I thought to myself, how many others are suffering like I have been suffering? And decided, you know what? I want to be that person that helps the people leaving the corporate world and coming to start jobs, businesses. I want to be that person that tells them, this is what you do on the ground. Corporate world was good, but here when reality hits you, it's not usually very pretty. So this is what you do. And so I started courses, I started training, I started talking to them. At the beginning, I hadn't packaged my knowledge very well. I was teaching from my own experience. I would tell them, this is what I did when I resigned. These were the results. These were the lessons. And at some point, I realized, quite a bit of number of people are coming to me. They get a lot of knowledge and they get a lot of information. And actually, they are making quite, some good money after I sit with them. But unfortunately for me, I wasn't making money. And I realized always they are thanking me. God bless you very much. Thank you, Coach Betty, or buying me a cup of tea, or just thanking me profusely over the phone. And at some point, I got frustrated. I was like, you mean I could sit down with someone, help them come up with a business, or help them avoid the pitfalls of starting a new business, and then I want to go home empty? I thought to myself, no, this got to stop. And that's when I hired another coach to help me package my knowledge into something that I could sell. By that time, I wasn't thinking of anything digital, but I was busy learning digital skills. So at some point, I realized, okay, you know what? I now have packaged my knowledge. I have many clients. I have many physical meetings. I am getting drained. My children were a bit smaller. I was newly married. I couldn't afford to be out there a lot of time. I'm coming home tired. My kids need a good mother, and my husband needed a good wife. So I thought to myself, how do I make this easy for me? I know there is another friend of Sir Emeka Nobis called, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but his name is IBE Namti something. He, he, he helps businesses get organized. Hey, you see, I bought a course from him as well. And I thought to myself,
Is it
I
Namdibe, my partner, Namdibe? Yeah.
me okay, you will teach me how to pronounce those names. But you see, I know all of them.
That's great.
I,
So go
I
ahead.
know all your friends, I know all your partners, I know all these great people. So I thought to
Yeah.
myself, how do I organize my business so that I am not all over the place? I have some time to organize my brain. And I also realized for you to master anything, and I wanted to be a master in the industry of packaging knowledge and selling it, you've got to read, man. You've got to find that knowledge, have it in your brain, process it, and then, present it to the world in a beautiful manner. I love reading. I love reading. I read fiction. I read business books. I read Christian books. I read anything. I read novels. I love reading. And I realized I was too busy doing everything else except finding good time to read. And so I needed to package my knowledge so that I have it selling without me being there. I spare some time to read. I spare some time for me. I spare some time for my parents and my siblings and my family and for my friends, because life is for living. You cannot be too busy to live. Then you wake up one day and you really cannot live. So I needed all that. There's something we call the wheel of life. I don't know how many of you have seen the wheel of life. And the wheel of life has, the one I use for coaching has 7 parts. And I needed the 7 parts to be taken care of. And so that's was my journey. That's how I got into the digital space, and I started selling online courses. I wrote a book. It's called The Activate and Monetize Your Potential. I know another friend of Sir Emeka who owns Warito. Do you say Warito?
I'm actually wearing the shirt.
Oh, look at that. I know you're the brand ambassador. And
Yes, I'm
I
the brand
said to
ambassador.
myself, the next time I reprint that book, I am reprinting it with them.
Yay!
Courtesy of you, sir. You brought them into my space. Yeah, so that has been my journey. That's how I got here. And finally, social media just agreed to help us. You know, the way the universe agrees to help you, social media agreed to help us. So that for me, I can confidently say 75% of my clients find me online.
Hmm.
That's what I would
Fantastic.
say. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Betty, for this. Thank you for taking us on a brief journey of how you started out in Kenya and where you have been right now. Okay, so guys, if you are tuning in right now, as I said, please let us know where you are tuning in from. So maybe I can say thank you to those who have tuned in already. I can see Stephanie. Stephanie is here. Welcome. I can see Chinonso. Welcome. Shegun Ezekiel Adebayo. I can see you. Morris Reward, thank you for coming. NQ Ozabor. Lucky James is here. Absolutely. I mean, Lucky James is
Oh,
here. Mentioned his name and is here with us, watching us live. Faith Jude Kinsley, welcome. Bunaya Samuel, welcome. Lovely Infidelis, welcome. Dana Rubasa, welcome. Oluchi Madu, all the way from UK, you're welcome. David Okum from Abuja, you are welcome. So thank you very much. Happy Alfred is also just joining us from Nigeria. All right. So thank you so much, Betty, for that brief journey. Okay, so my next question, I think you've made a little bit of mention about it also, but I will ask this question: using social media, because you just told us a little bit of how you started out on social media. So I want to ask you, because when I started out on social media, I had to identify my key three objectives for being on social media. So I don't want to mention it so that I don't want you to steal from mine, right? So, but I
I
think
might.
because what we are doing here is to have broader objectives, so a
Yeah.
broader perspective about social media. So tell us, what are your three core objectives, or if you have more objectives, tell us the objectives of being on social media. Because the essence of us having this conversation is to make individuals begin to understand that social media is very powerful. A lot of individuals go on social media and all they do is to play because of the word social. But there's a whole lot that we can get by being on social media. So tell us your key objectives for being on social media.
Thank you. I will say when I began, I mean, when I joined social media a long time ago, I didn't join it for business. I joined because others were joining, and it was a new concept. In fact, I remember I didn't open my own Facebook account. A friend of mine, we met in a common friend's wedding, and he was like, Betma. Well, those people who know me from college used to call me Betma. Betma, you're on Facebook, and I asked, "What's Facebook?" And he's like, "Give me your phone." The next thing I know, I have an account. So I must say that he created my account. And at the beginning, because I wouldn't like us to condemn anybody, I didn't join it. I just joined because it was a platform. But with time, I also realized that social media is such, it's a sharp-edged sword, double-edged. It could really, really grow you. It could actually give you a whole lifeline, and then your family members, and you could grow a whole huge community business. You could grow your own personal business. You could grow a whole economy on social media. But you could also waste all your life on social media. I was speaking to a young gentleman the other day, and he told me he spends three-quarter of his day on TikTok. And I asked him, "What are you doing on TikTok?" And he told me, "I'm laughing. I see all the videos, I laugh. Some make me happy, some make me sad, some make me depressed. But I'm on TikTok the whole day." And to me, even though I joined social media without really knowing why I was there, when I started my business and I realized there were people who are doing well on social media. In fact, I met my very first coach. Her name is Coach Irene Murray. You can go and follow her on social media. I used to see her sharing her story, how she's built her business. And I kept feeling in my heart, she seems to know about the service industry. I am the one who doesn't know. She seems to have her stuff together. Let me ask her for help. And I asked her for help. And she happened to be a coach. In fact, she's the person who talked to me about coaching. I had never known what coaching is. Right. So you see, I realized if I could meet Coach Irene on Facebook, it actually means somebody else can meet me as a service provider on Facebook. The same way I met her on Facebook, another person could meet me on Facebook and actually pay me. So that was so it became my objective to find customers on social media. And then with time, I realized I cannot, my life cannot just be about making money. I need to make money, but I also need to make impact. And one of the ways of making impact on social media, I realized is sharing information. I know a lot of it. I know a lot of things, just like a lot of us here. Just like Lucky James, who gave us a free book on social media. It's called Dominate Social Media. And it doesn't mean because he gave us that book, now he's not making money online. In fact, for me, I was like, if this guy could sit down, put this book together and give it to us, he's a good spirit. I would want to be in his space. I really actually don't. What is he selling? Buy. I attended the class, it was amazing, but I was going to buy anyway. So I also realized if you want to create impact, you can create it very fast on social media. So that was objective number 2. I decided I will use my page as a platform to impact the life of other people. And I am very glad to say that there's not a single day I don't go out of my house and I don't meet someone who says, "Hey, Coach Betty, how are you? You really inspire me." "Hi, Coach Betty, how are you? I wanted to close down my business, but one day I read a post from you and I stopped closing it down. You said collect mind and start looking at your business seriously." I will meet someone who tells me, "Coach Betty, you are the reason why I started my own business." So I decided, wow, this platform, I could use it to create impact. And I find a lot of favors simply because people feel good that I helped them and they want to go out of their way and help me. The other objective of me being online is to meet like-minded people like me. Look at me today. Sir Emeka Nobis is hosting me. How was I going to meet him if it were not for social media? How would I have met Irene? You will tell me how that lawyer's name is. Irene someone. How would I have met your partner? How would I have known Warito? How would I have known Niger brand chick, Nelly? I can't even try to mention her other name. How would I have met Mam Chioma? How would I have met all these amazing people? How would I have joined the MGH community? And you Nigerians, if you are not in the MGH community, I'll bring my Kenyans there, we bring violence. So how would I have known all these amazing people? And as Emeka Nobis has said today, we are now building collaborations. I am so glad that some of the best collaborations I've built with people I met on social media. So those were my 3 objectives, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Betty. I'm so excited. I hope that individuals who are learning are seeing the beauty of social media. Trust me, it's very powerful. So now we are here. I am getting introduced to your Kenyan community, having a conversation with someone from Zambia tomorrow, and I'm going to be expanding that to reach out. I'm going to have conversation with someone in Ghana. My decision this year is to reach out to as many individuals who are in all the parts of Africa and have these conversations with them. Those that I know, those I've established relationship with, those who I don't even know. So social media truly can help us to reach out to different parts of the world just by sitting down where we are in our offices. So thank you so much for those objectives. Okay, so guys, if you're tuning in right now, I hope that you're getting some form of value from what Coach Betty has been sharing with us. And as usual, I usually tell individuals, please go and share on your timeline. One great way of making yourself to be someone of great influence to individuals is how you are genuinely and generously sharing the value that you get with other individuals. It won't take you anything. Just tap the share button, make a few sentences if you wish, and share this video on your timeline. Don't keep it to yourself only and say, okay, let me just enjoy it. Let me grow by myself. If you are growing alongside with other people, you are expanding the streams of prosperity. And trust me, it's usually very great, very rewarding. Okay, so please tap and share on your timeline at the moment and let a lot of individuals be part of this conversation. If you also can tag them or mention them in the comment section, please by all means do that. All right, so I'm going to go to my next question. You guys just finished your own elections, your own political elections. Okay. I will ask this before we go to business. We also finished, although we haven't announced, they haven't announced the winner of the elections, but we now believe that one of the contestants that many people really didn't export, never, let me not use the word, never really wanted to be president, is going to be the president of the nation. And social media really played a great role because a party that has not really been known so much in Nigeria, which is the Labour Party, rode on the backs of social media. A lot of individuals were sharing on their WhatsApp, on their timelines. People were doing voice notes. People were doing videos. People were doing memes, and a whole lot of things that individuals were doing. and Labour Party began to become something embedded in the minds of individuals, basically mostly through social media. So tell us how it has been with Kenya in terms of the elections and the importance or the power or the role that social media played in terms of the campaigns, in terms of the adoption of the candidates, in terms of the spread of their manifestos, and in terms of the results. Did social media play a role in the results of the election? So tell us in terms of campaigns, adoption of the candidates, spread of their manifesto, and finally their results, how we can use social media to build nations. Please share with us your experience and your perspective.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. I have been following your elections, you guys. I know your candidates. I know a lot of my friends and coaches and the people. I mean, a lot of you guys whose program I bought were obedient. I don't need to go past that. And so our own elections are also highly, highly, highly affected by social media. They're highly influenced by social media and they're highly determined by social media. Why? Because you decide. I mean, the parties that don't have a very strong social media presence will find themselves in they could be the best actually, but their counterparts, their competitors who are on social media are on social media dragging them into mud and using every available channel. I mean, they're on TikTok creating memes, they're on Facebook creating memes, they're on Twitter raiding each other like crazy. And I saw our last elections, we did our elections in August 2022. We are just recovering, by the way. You guys, elections in Africa, you take another 6 months to like just wear off the fever. It's just too much. But at least in my country, we are now recovering. Guys are going back to work. And of course, we are, as a globe, we are recovering from that evil sea thing. So my country, I saw candidates pay bloggers huge amount of money, huge amounts of money to come and talk about them, to come and lie about their competitors, to come and charade their competitors, to come and bring forth their good deeds on the ground. For example, if you're campaigning and you've been able to pay school fees for quite a number of people, you have a team on the ground taking photos, editing into small, nice videos like we learned in Ken. That other word, you'll tell me how to say it, sir. But the MGH community, he's taught us how to make small, small videos and caption them. So that's what I saw people doing. They would go to the ground, do something, have the media team create shots. Nowadays, they're called shots. Create shots with captions. You go to your WhatsApp, that guy is trending on WhatsApp. You go to Twitter, the clip is trending on Twitter. You go to LinkedIn, they're still as serious as they were. You go to these different social media platforms and you find those clips. And you see what that does in the mind of your voters is that it starts painting a picture of who you are. Probably that's not who you are, but you're using social media to influence us to thinking or to perceive you in a particular manner. So I saw it, and I have also seen it with the Nigerian community. There's a person I follow. I like him. I like his thinking. He's called Charles Awozia. I know he lives in South Africa, but he's Nigerian. And he had said if his candidate wins, he'll come back to Nigeria. I like the way he thinks. I really do like the way he thinks. And I have seen how he has influenced a particular way of thinking, helping Nigerians think in a particular way and place their politicians in a particular way. Same for my country. Social media is no joke. Social media can build you in a day, and social media can bring you down in a day. I don't want to mention the politician in my country, but some few days to the elections, just some few days to the election, people went on the ground. They made a horrible a horrible, horrible, horrible allegation. And they even took a voice. We know it wasn't him, but they made a voice that sounded like him, edited a clip with his photos. You know, nowadays people can just Photoshop you and just create things about you that you really don't know about. And they created some small videos and they spread those videos. And in that, supposedly insulting that candidate was insulting the women. I know you understand what I mean. He had really insulted the women, but it's a creation of his competitor. He lost. He's very powerful in my country. He's super rich. He was this untouchables. He lost because of a small clip, because of people who decided to take his voice and do the otherwise. So I wondered in my heart, why didn't he have his own team to create either counter offers, or why initially he didn't have his own team to show us his good deeds? So that by the time these bad clips arrive, or by the time your competitor starts thinking of making horrible clips about you, they will find some good work on the ground. If someone wants to come and charade Sir Emeka Nobis, we would all say, no, we know him. Look at this video he did. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the way he helped us. That person you are talking about, that is not Sir Emeka Nobis. That is not Ken. That is not Electric EJ. I'm saying all the Nigerians I know. That is not Niger brand chick. That is not her. We know her. Probably she slipped, but that's not her. So decide how you want to use social media. Decide if you want to build your own brand, or you will wait for others to come and build a bad image of you when you had all the time and all the space to use social media to your advantage.
Thank you so much. I like how you shared this, that if you build your stuff and people hear the bad ones about you, then
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of other things that you created that were great, that they will look at and say, "Oh, this is him. This is how he is, and he cannot be that way." I used to think that. I thought about this some months ago, and it really touched me regarding a number of the volume of stuff that I put out, volume of content that I put out there on social media, in the social media space. When you even, if you check my name or try to Google my name on Google, the kind of content that that pop up as a result of a lot of content that we've created, like a backup, like a resume of our great works. Thank you for emphasizing that, Coach Betty. Okay, so we are going to go to from elections, politics, and all that, to what are your challenges building? Because before we got on this live stream, you shared with me some of the challenges that you are facing in Kenya on the digital space. And trust me, I am also facing the same thing. One of them is mistrust. And so when I launch a digital product, I find out that 80% of individuals would not want to click the link. They want to still send me money. And it's a whole lot of work, because the more you rise on this journey, the things that I used to do beautifully before, like I will spend a week checking out people paying manually, and then I start onboarding them. But now I'm struggling for time because people are leading my time. I have a lot of things that I want to work on. And so it's easier for people to click a link, and they are easily redirected to the product, and they go ahead to consume, and then I receive my money very easy. But many of them don't want to click the link because of mistrust. So they say there are individuals who will, like, people wake up here in Nigeria and they tell you that they can't find the money in the account anymore. Like, money just moves like that. I don't know, magically. It hasn't happened to me before, but magically. So because of all those, I've gone to a mall, and I met an old friend of mine who was then a doctor. He had a doctorate degree. He had climbed to get a doctorate degree while I'm still with my bachelor degree. And I said, "Hey guy, why are you here?" We just got around talking, and he told me he came to pay for DSTV. And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Where's your house?" And he told me where his house was. I'm like, "Why do you have to drive all the way? Is there something else that you want to do in this mall. He said, no. So why did you drive all the way from your house to this mall to come and pay for DSTV when you can stay in your house and with your phone? That I've never done that ever since I started watching. I mean, DSTV, I stay in my house. I can count the number of times that I've been to their offices. And the guy said to me, oh, I'm sorry, I don't trust these online things. They can take my money and all that. And so many even a doctorate degree holder does not trust a link. Not to talk of many other Nigerians, who are, do I know, semi-illiterate or they are illiterate. I mean, they are literate, but so there's a whole lot of mistrust in the system. I don't know if it's the same with Kenya, but tell us, being on social media and when you sell your products, what have your challenges been in regarding building your business? A general overview. Just give us a general overview how it is in Kenya regarding social media and how people use social media to sell their products, to expose themselves, and all that. A typical example also here in Nigeria for a lot of individuals, superstition. And let me make example. When I was starting out on this journey and I started to preach to people how they can start to use social media, one of the things that I got, particularly from church people, was the fact that they said to me that if you put your pictures on social media, that somebody could take your pictures from social media and go to a babalawo. I know you know what a babalawo is, a fetish doctor or a native doctor. And by putting your pictures, giving your pictures to the native doctor, that something could happen to you. I don't know how, but a lot of individuals bought into that, and many individuals don't share. Also, here in Nigeria, many individuals don't share um, their stories of when they are pregnant. They don't share their pictures of up until now. They don't share their pregnancy photos up until the time. Some of them share when they have given birth. Some just keep it, and they share even when the baby has become 1 year, because they feel that when you share, somebody can take your picture when you're pregnant and then take it to a native doctor and they can deflate the pregnancy. So some superstitious things that happen, and people argue these things that they are real, that they happen. I don't know. Someone close to me, it hasn't happened to me before. It hasn't happened to someone who's very close to me before. I have not really been able to carry out that research, but people say that it happens. And so the adoption of social media with regards to visuals, sharing pictures or sharing videos, a whole lot of individuals are still resistant to adoption. So adopting social media as a means of showing themselves. So I don't know what the challenge is like in Kenya, but you can share with us general perspective and the challenges that you have also had regarding to building your own business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I was listening to you and just thinking, yeah, that's copy paste. That's the whole story in my own country. But I want to say it's a catch 22 situation. Like, as content creators and digital creators and people who trade online, we are always in that situation. First, let me talk about the mistrust. It's 100% what is affecting us here. And I'd say the people who mistrust the process are not just mistrusting the process for nothing. Some have actually lost money. Probably someone announced, I am selling these phones or I'm selling this service, and you actually went ahead and bought, and you didn't get what you wanted. For example, I have seen someone advertise a very, very nice pair of sneakers. Like, it was amazing, sky blue in color. It looked really nice. I visualized myself, in that one, and have, my ragged jeans. And I thought I would look very nice over the weekend. They had advertised on WhatsApp status. And thank you, Saime Kanobis, for educating us on how to do business on WhatsApp. And I thought this really looks cool and I would love to buy it. So I order the shoe. I give the address to my house, and I pay and I wait. And the shoes are delivered and I wasn't home when the shoes were delivered. So I come in the evening, I'm excited. I'm thinking to myself, I am going to look good on Saturday. Only to, unwrap the gift. And I wanted to cry. Like, I just was like, this person is not even serious. What they advertised and what I got, I know you've seen those kind of memes. What you bought online and what was delivered were two different things. It was horrible. Like, it was just a bad pair of shoes. And my son, he was a bit small then. He was 8 years old, and he told me, "Mom, you've been catfished. You've been scammed." Of course, it wasn't a good experience. I told the lady, "Please come pick your shoes. I don't want them. This is not what you advertise." Did that stop me from buying online? Absolutely not. I buy a lot online. People deliver good things, they deliver good quality. So it's a balancing act. I totally understand why people mistrust us who sell online. And because of that, when I'm selling, I try to address that objection in their mind. Might I be scammed? Might I be, eh? Might this not be the right thing? Might I lose my money? So we experience that as one of the challenges because honestly speaking, people have scammed others online. And honestly speaking, people have given others amazing quality online, and we are trying all our very best. So even as I'm coaching my students on how to sell online, I tell them build a brand that people will trust. They already know if it's Coach Betty calling us, it's legit. Let's go. If it's Betty saying buy this, it's legit. So that one is a problem we have. It's a challenge we have. Challenge number two is ignorance. People just not knowing how the online space works. I'm personally very grateful that I worked for a telecommunications company in the technology space. We were taught everything. We know what is possible with technology and what is not possible with technology. For example, when I worked for Safaricom, a customer would come to the office and say, "My credit just disappeared from my phone." And we would say, "Really? It just disappeared?" "Yeah. And my data disappeared from my phone, and I didn't touch my phone, and I don't know what happened to my phone, and I want you guys to give me a refund." So, of course, we knew that wasn't going to happen. So, you go to the system, you log in, you run that customer's data, you run their, what happened behind the scenes, and you find that someone was on phone Googling or on very heavy sites like Yahoo. Then there was Yahoo, or they were on pornographic sites. So, I had one experience that was very nasty of an old man who came with the son. The son was the one who used to pay the bills for his old man, postpaid bills. So one time he used to live in UK and finds his father's bills. I mean, they were escalated. They were up there. So he comes to the place I was working, and he was breathing fire and like he was upset. I said, "This is my old man. He does nothing with his phone. His phone is for receiving our calls and our video calls and speaking with my mother. And I don't understand why he has such a big bill. And there's nothing he does." So he's denying because of ignorance. Deep down my heart, I knew no, there is no way data just disappears from your phone. So I tried to just tell them no, probably because it's holiday season, the kids were browsing using the phone, but he could hear none of that. So we engaged the back office team, the data team, the engineers who would help us see what it is they were doing with the phones. And shock on all of us, old man was busy watching pornography a lot of times. And so we couldn't go and deliver that message to the son. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's not African to do that. So we found a way of just telling the old man, sending the son away to go see some good things we were selling on one corner, and telling the old man very, very quickly. And he told his son, "Let's just go. I think these people are okay. Let's just disappear." So ignorance also plays a very big part. People don't know what is possible and what is not possible online. So we go ahead and teach them. The other challenge for me has been churning content day in, day out. It's a lot of work. Of course, we go ahead and plan and decide this is the day I'll post, this is the day I'll do this. It's tiring, and it's a challenge for me. I don't know if you feel that way sometimes, that you have to really keep producing content. So one of the things I decided to do this year is to build an academy and just say all my things. If you want to buy anything from me, find it in the academy. I want to be organized. I want to have some time for myself, and I also want to rest. The other challenge is privacy. When you sell a lot online, when people know you, it's a good thing. It's an amazing thing. When you meet with people and they're saying, "Hi, Coach Betty, thank you for helping me. Hi, Coach Betty. Hi, Coach Betty." But sometimes I don't want the attention. I want to rest. I want to go to the mall and shop. I want to sit down and read a book, or I want to do something. I don't want to be, or I am with my family on a Sunday. We want to rest. We want to take our time off. But, "Hi, Coach Betty, is this your family? How are you doing?" And everybody knows you, and everybody is saying hello, which I totally appreciate. By the way, those are my fans. But sometimes you have to really choose. You choose a struggle. I always say, finding people who can buy from you and who are your raving fans and followers is hard work. Also, just having all this attention all the time is hard work. So the two are hard. So choose your hard. Sometimes I decide to choose that hard and talk to myself and say, anyway, by the way, these guys, they buy from me, they're amazing. So let me just go out there, just out of my way, and be an amazing person. So those are some of the challenges we go through here in Kenya. And those are some of the challenges that a lot of online sellers of information, products, whatever they are going through.
Thank you so much, Betty. I like the honesty of this conversation. I like the authenticity with which you're sharing. And this is one of the things that I really connect to as a value. A lot of individuals are kind of shallow, or they tend to keep certain things to themselves. But I like to, when I want to share, I really open up and share. And I like the way that you're doing it. So, guys, thank you so much for being part of this session. If you are still here, go ahead and still share. All right, share this live stream to your audience. Share it on your timeline. Let a lot more individuals know who Coach Betty is. Let them participate in this conversation. As you can see, I'm in Nigeria, she's in Kenya. And by utilizing social media, we're having this conversation. I've not met her physically in my life, but I know that I'm going to do that very soon. Very, very soon. I'm going to be here at her invitation. And so you see, collaborations really work a whole lot. So if you are gaining some great stuff, some good stuff, please let us know in the comment section, and also share this live stream. Just tap the share button and let a lot of other individuals enjoy what we are enjoying. Even when we are done with the live stream, they can watch the replay. All right, so I have just two more questions left for you before we call it a day today. So regarding the role of building communities, remember the conversation we are having here is about building communities, businesses, and nations using social media. So, what do you think is the role of social media in building communities? Let's say the church, those who are Christians, those who are Muslims, in building mosques, in terms of culture in our villages, in our towns, in our cities, and then the socialness of our lives, right? The social interactions that we have. Is there a way social media, or are there ways that social media are shaping our religious beliefs, our religious interactions, social connections with other individuals, and cultural system that we are operating? What do you think the role of social media in all this?
Absolutely. I think social media is really, really shaping a lot of what we do, what we think. It's shaping our perspectives. It is shaping how we live. Uh, this week, Kenyans and Ghana, there's a bit of Kenya and Ghana. They were having a little spat online, and it wasn't good. It was on TikTok. Someone was telling me about it. I never saw it. And when I decided, let me look at what's been happening, I was like, oh, I feel like I've been to Ghana, because as people fought online, everyone decided, let's bring all our good things. You look at us, and the other community would say, look at us, look at us. I kept thinking, oh, it's like, I know Ghana, I've seen their hospitals, I've seen their schools, I've seen their leaders. I now feel like I know a little bit of them. So definitely we cannot deny the fact that social media is shaping our cultures. For example, I was speaking with one of the guys that really I collaborate with a lot. He's a digital marketer. He's a young man, and I would like you to meet him, Sir Emeka Nobis. He's bought your products, by the way. He's one of those very young men who fascinate me because he's like Lucky James, very knowledgeable. He knows a lot of things. I asked him, I would like you to buy this course from Precious Monide and learn about social media. He's like, I bought that 1 year ago. I refer him to buy something else. So I was discussing with him because he seems to be knowing a lot of Nigerian authors, coaches, and we agreed the Nigerian culture of supporting each other is amazing. You guys support each other, you buy from each other, you tag each other. You really don't feel like there's something scarce. On the other hand, my community is a bit different, which is something we are trying to address. But me being a psychologist, I've done a lot of psychology. You can't jump ship. You have to do it with strategy. I am trying, and we are trying with a group of my friends to create that culture that we have seen in your community. We love it. We love the collaborations. We love the teamwork. We love how you guys help each other. We have also seen vices, vices that are spread online. If people want to pass a culture that is not appreciated by another community, they start by bringing it online. Maybe they create cartoons around it, maybe they create memes, or they create accounts and push an agenda, push an agenda, push an agenda. So that young girl that is just out of school and probably doesn't have a mentor, and the mentor is the person they see online as an influencer, and all they are doing is twerking and just presenting everything to the world free of charge. That girl starts thinking, okay, this person seems to be doing well, but all they are doing online is twerking. So I actually think it's not wrong. It's right. They are rich. They are doing well. They have everything I would like to have. And this is what they are doing for a living. So social media is what I said at the beginning. It's a double-edged sword. It is influencing the community positively and also influencing the community negatively. There are things we borrow from other cultures. There are things we borrow from Nigeria. There are things from probably Nigerians will borrow from my country, the way we do things, the way we build our roads. By the way, our roads are among the best. Our infrastructure is to live for, not to die for, to live for. And I know when Sir Emeka Nobis comes and sees what we have to offer, it's something probably you some would want to come and benchmark. But there's also very good digital literacy and a lot of good things, especially around knowledge management that we can borrow from Nigeria. You guys read a lot. You guys invest in books. You invest in knowledge. Here in my country, you have to whip people. I keep whipping mine. Did you go through that course that you bought from me? No, Coach Betty, you have to go through it. Log in. I can't see you from the back end. I checked you out. You are not logging in. And I build a community of people who want to build on knowledge. So I would say, truly speaking, social media is influencing how communities borrow cultures from each other, how communities build, how communities become, and it's both positively and negatively. So it's upon us to choose how do we want to grow online. Thank you.
Oh well, thank you so much, Betty. Man, as I am now, it looks like as if I'm Kenyan already because of the things that I've been learning from you today. Maybe when I get into Kenya, I can even post to be a Kenyan. Maybe my voice will give me away, but maybe I can. Thank you for this conversation. I'm very excited about the possibilities of the now and the future. Okay, so my very final question to you will be this. You've already even made a mention of it about how you build your brand. And I'm very, very happy about that because there are individuals who have bought things because American Nobi said so. And so they believe that whatever I say, um, anybody that I refer, anybody that I talk about on my timeline, the person is legit, the person is real, even though that I am human and I am subject to errors. I may not know somebody in and out, but individuals tend to believe that if a mechanobis mentions something, it means that this individual has a high level of integrity that can be trusted. Even when I mention businesses or when I'm influencing for a brand, for example, Waritel, and people say, okay, cannabis is attached to this particular brand, um, that means this brand is worthy. That means this brand can be trusted and people tend to buy into it. This was what really happened in our election on Saturday. The Labour Party candidate, Peter Obi, individuals were keenly interested to vote him in. And so on the ballot paper, the Labour Party, some of us, including me, I didn't even know the other candidates because on Saturday you have the presidential, you have the Senate, and then you have the House of Representatives. Most of us don't even know who the guys who are running for the senatorial seats and the House of Representative seats, just because we trust P2B, we didn't care. So we just boom, 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 just all across board. So with the same finger, we just thumb the president, boom, the Labour Party, they won, boom, just like that. So that is what is called personality in marketing, personality association. So when you associate a particular brand with a particular kind of name, individuals will ride upon. Even yesterday, I was hearing about someone who used to be what we call a Okada rider. Okada rider means somebody who does business with his motorbike. He drives people on motorbike and collects money. That's what Okada bike. And now we're hearing that the guy is now heading to the House of Assembly, I mean the House of Representative, because people just voted across board. They just thumbprinted because of one particular individual, the right personality association. So building your personal brand to be one that people can trust is something that we should not take for granted. So let's have your views on that regarding building. As you're building your brand, you're also building your social media audience, because currently I'm writing a book on that because I feel that book has to have things that have to do with content creation, your personality, values, and a whole lot of stuff. And then the strategies to be able to build your social media audience. What can you say with regards to building your social media, your personal brand, and then your audience? Because as you're building your personal brand and you don't have an audience to communicate your ideologies, your beliefs, your products to, then you cannot have the influence you're looking for. You may not have people buy into your product. So, what can you say regarding personal brand, building your personal brand on social media, as well as building your audience on social media? Any strategies that you utilize personally to be able to build for yourself the personal brand that you are today and the audience that listens to you on social media?
All right. Thank you, sir. I would say this. Sometimes one of the coaching programs I run is called the Executive Coaching Program. That one is never on social media. It's people that have graduated, they came in through a low ticket offer, or they know me from the company I worked for, or they know me from the results they hear about out there. One of the topics that I'm very keen on teaching them is the topic of personal branding, because the personal brand you are creating will make you or break you online. It's as simple as that. It is very hard to separate the brand that you are creating and what you're selling and the person that you're bringing forth. I see some people saying, oh, that person you see online, that is not me. When you meet me out there, that's not the person I am. And it becomes very difficult in the mind of your target client or in the mind of your already fan to separate the two. And it also gives you a lot of hard work to try and balance two different personalities or two different brands. For me, what I've seen working is being you, being authentic, building a brand that you want to building a brand that you want to belong each and every day. You want to be that brand online, you want to be that brand offline. You want to stand for that brand. You want to recruit people who are like that brand. You want a niche that sounds and looks like that brand. What am I talking about? I personally build a brand around knowledge management, knowledge acquisition, knowledge dissemination, knowledge this, knowledge that, ideas this, ideas that. And I've tried to keep to that lane forever. I've had my friends who are very big in the political space. They are huge. They have very big budgets. And once in a while, they call me and ask me, for how long are you going to be selling courses? For $297, for $597? How long are you going to be doing this? I want to give you a road construction tender that helps you once and for all. I tried that at the beginning and I realized it's such a waste of your time. It's such a waste of your energy. It's such a waste of your essence, your being, you. Why? I tried. It wasn't road construction, it was something else that was completely opposite of who I am and the person I have been building, the brand I have been becoming each and every day. It was a major diversion. And why did I take that contract? Because it was paying and paying very, very, very well. In fact, I remember one day, in a single day, that contract paid me $8,000. People came to my office, each carrying a check of $2,000. There were 4 of them. And they were like, Betty, we want your services very, very quickly because before the government catches up with us. I couldn't believe my account grew that much. So I had put my team together to go and do that job. But deep down, I kept feeling like this job doesn't excite me. I love the money, but I don't wake up excited to go and do this particular contract. I don't like to listen to the experiences of my people on the ground. When they come in the evening and they tell me, Madam, this is what we went through during the day, this is what we gathered, these were the clients, these were our experiences. Some of the times I kept feeling like, I want this to end. I don't like this conversation. This is not me. Long story short, that was one of the shortest contract. That was one of the contracts I took the shortest time possible. At some point, I was like, this contract will kill me. It was draining me. It was bringing my health down because I couldn't reconcile the person I had taken so much time to become and this person who was doing this contract. Those were two different people. There was this coach Betty who had immersed herself in building knowledge, building information, building content. I attended all these big coaches that you hear about, Tony Robbins, Lisa Nichols, name them. I had done all their courses, I had attended the events, I had built myself to become that person. Then I divert to go into another completely different field. That is the day I learned the power of a personal brand. One day, because I started experiencing health challenges because of pressure that contract was putting me through. I didn't know a lot of things. It needed some engineers, it needed this and that. And in there, I realized some people were lying to me that we needed this amount of materials, we needed this amount of labor. They were lying to me. And at the end of the day, I realized, I could be collecting $8,000, but probably at the end of the month, I will be negative. Maybe I'll be at negative $2,000. That was a one day earning. You can imagine within us, I did that contract for 3 months. I made a lot of money. But by the time I said, I will never do it again. I don't want to be associated. a doctor told me, Betty, we are looking at you getting a stroke. Don't do it. Whatever it is that you are doing it is really, 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 really affecting your health. Don't do it. Don't lose your life. I went politely and I told my friend who had invited me to that contract, I am done with this first phase. I ain't doing it again. And I have never looked back. I've learned with time, because my clients come to me and tell me, I got this tender, it was this many millions of money. I was excited, but I've lost everything. Not only did I lose the tender money, I lost my time, I lost operations, I've lost my health, I've lost my marriage, I've lost my house, I've lost my car, I've lost everything. And when we sit down with that client to look at what went wrong, it is trying to divert from that brand you've been building, that person you've been building, into another completely different person or another complete different mindset. It's like having this particular mindset and then you turn around. It's like being whole. I love all Nigerian musicians. They're amazing. Being that musician that attracts a whole stadium and gets paid a lot of money, then tomorrow morning you want to be a doctor because you are told one surgery is going to pay you $3,000. It will disturb your mind. So I have always said, discover who you are first. Discover your values. Discover where you want to go. Discover what excites you. Discover what you are about. Then pursue that route relentlessly. You will be happier. You'll be more fulfilled. You'll make more money. By the time those who diverted come back crying, you'll be way ahead. You'll be way ahead. So some of the strategies I've been using to make sure that I keep to the narrow, what is it called? The narrow, that path that I chose is to remind myself every single day, Betty, what are you about and what do you want to do? How much money can that road construction give you? I calculate. I ask myself, what can I do in the coaching space to make the same amount of money with much less stress and much less strain, and not really hurting my family and hurting my business and hurting the people that I work with and hurting your relationships, because that person who called you to go and do road construction will not be happy with you at the end of the day, because you've deserted the project. You've abandoned what it is that you started to build together. I'm very passionate about the topic of personal branding. I teach it with a lot of passion because I know it will either make you or break you. Let me stop there.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Betty. I think there's something that you have not answered regarding that question. You know, a few strategies that you utilize in terms of building an audience on social media, the audience that respects you, that loves you, and then they can buy from you. Can we have like one or two or three strategies that you utilize in building that audience? Um, I can't compare my audience to yours. I know that I'm getting close to 85,000 followers on social media, but it's beyond that because the things that we do, they go beyond the numbers on social media into the real life. Okay, so what will you advise in terms of strategies to be, to be able to build that audience? Because I feel that even businesses are in the business of building their own audiences. Banks, they want people to patronize them. Telecom companies want a lot of individuals to buy into their services and all that. So, what can maybe give us some strategies based maybe on from the corporate sector where you have been, and now that you're building your own personal brand on social media?
All right, sir. I think some of the strategies I've used to make sure that I build an audience that aligns to what I want to offer, or anyway, I build an audience that is happy with what I'm offering them, is to be very careful with the way I language my work. Every one of us, I mean, we are human beings. Once in a while, we want to gist, we want to gossip a little bit, we want to contribute to this and this and this debate. I have been very keen with whatever debate it is that I'm contributing. I language it, whatever it is, could it politics, marriages, dating, social media, music, having fun, whatever topic it is that is, people are talking about trending, whatever. I always try to come back to how am I going to learn, which language will I use on this post, or which language will I use on this comment. You don't just go and comment something without thinking. For me, I've always thought, I want to comment on this. What will I say that aligns with my brand? I want to contribute to this discussion that Emeka Novice is having, or whoever it is. How will I language it so that it remains, when someone reads it, they will know this is Coach Betty and this is what she stands for. So that I am not saying this today, then tomorrow I'm saying the other thing. Or people are finding me contributing into debates that don't look like me and they don't sound like me, and that could never be me. I try very much to see at how am I languaging? How am I presenting my offers? I don't like to present my I'm a bit tough, and I'm that tough coach. And I try to keep that language. I try to keep that tone. There's a tone I try to keep. But once in a while, especially with the reels, I go all out joking. So that they know I'm also a human being. I like to joke a little bit. But when it comes to monetizing your potential, I don't like us to go like a dicey on that issue. So how I language is one of the things I never forget, is one of the strategies I use. Number two is how I position my offers, how I position my whatever it is that I'm offering, even if it's just a post to impact people. How do I position it? Who am I targeting? I don't want to go so broad. So I'll come here and say, this is for the coaches, content creators, and entrepreneurs. So if I see another person who is out of that niche getting hurt and offended or whatever, I rarely offend people. Probably I do. I don't know. I rarely do. But the way I position it, I'm very clear. I am targeting coaches, content creators, entrepreneurs, digital creators. I will say that, and I'll position it that way. The other strategy I use is to ensure that I am only collaborating with people within my space, and I don't want to lose my niche. And that has gotten me into trouble, even with my very closest of friends who we collaborate with. If I feel you are on the extreme of one side and I'm on the other extreme, I will try not to confuse my own audience with what it is that you are saying. So I try to keep to, this is what Betty is about. Even though I'm contributing to this debate, I will keep it this way. I will language it this way. I don't know if I've answered your question, sir.
Yeah, thanks. You have answered most importantly from the personal branding perspective. Thank you so much, Betty. I'm so excited that we had this conversation. We're supposed to do just 60 minutes, but I think the juiciness of our conversation and the beauty of our engagement has made us to do more than an hour, 18 minutes. Okay, so if you have final words that you want to share with us, the things that you would like us to do together, what you think that people should contact you and for maybe your offers or what you can do to help people who are watching us right now, please go ahead and share as we begin to round off in the next 2-3 minutes.
All righty. Thank you very much. I just want to say there's power in social media. It's a very powerful tool. It's one of those tools that you really can't deny. In my own country, a lot of people are now starting to pay influencers, they are paying bloggers, they are moving away from the traditional media into social media. And we really have no choice. I mean, it's good you build a brand online. Choose whichever brand, and we don't want to force anybody into a brand that they don't want to be. Whichever brand if you want to be controversial, it's one of the ways of selling. If you want to be Christian, one ways of selling. If you want to be business, very business minded, whatever it is that you want to go with, I'll just say, please focus on four things. whatever it is that you choose to do online, may it be something that makes you happy. May it be something that pays you well. May it be something that you are very, very good at. And may it also be something that people need. That's where all those things meet is what we call the ikigai in Japanese, or your purpose, your being, your reason for being. If that is the case, you will not get tired online, you will not be very frustrated, and you find fun doing your work. So take social media seriously. I think they should remove the word social now. It's also because it's actually more business than it is social or whatever. The word social, let's not take it so literally. So I would say focus on building your brand online. I'm encouraged. I've sold products, I've sold information products worth $10,000 to one person. Like one person just decided, I'm picking this, I'm picking this, I'm picking this. I've sold coaching programs for $30,000 online. Online. I have sold programs as cheap as $20 online, $50 online, $100 online, $200 online, $250 online. There's nothing you cannot do online. It's a good space. Just depends with what you want. Why are you on social media? One thing I learned from my Nigerian friends, all of you, is that you keep saying, don't just scroll phone aimlessly. You can't just be scrolling and pressing your phone with no aim in this world. And in any case, big or small businesses, they are all migrating online. So it's a high time that we took it seriously and we build our offers online. So I'm Coach Betty Maura on all platforms. You just follow me, follow me. I don't want to give you any offer. Just go see who I am, what I'm about. If you feel we can interact, Father Saimeka, no business here. You could write him an inbox, or if you want to shoot it straight to me to write. I'm in a lot of your WhatsApp groups. You guys, me, I buy a lot of your courses because I like the way Nigeria does the digital literacy bit. I'm trying my very best to see the areas we can collaborate. Kenya is a very ripe market for what you guys know. You are way ahead. So can you just come here and be our brothers and let's help this community grow? Kenya is very, very, very high potential, but there's a bit of ignorance on the digital space. Thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. I totally appreciate it. And it's a pleasure to speak to all of you guys. It's a humble experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this, Betty. I am very excited and thank you for honoring my invitation. Tomorrow, I have another session with someone who is in Zambia, and I look forward to having a lot more conversations with a whole lot of other individuals in the coming month of March. Thank you for doing this on the last day of the month of February in 2023. God bless you so much. I look forward to that collaboration that you want us to have. We'll have conversation. I look forward to being in Kenya maybe this year. Who knows? To come to Kenya. I mean, we can easily fly Kenyan Airways, and so we'll have the conversation. I'd love to be in Kenya. I heard a lot of things about things happening in Kenya, so I look forward to being there. So thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. God bless you, and I do hope that you had a very great time with us. See you some other time. From me to you in Kenya, and from me to you in any other part of the world that you tuned in from. Have a beautiful last day of February 2023, and happy new month to you tomorrow, March 2023. God bless you all.